My name's Sterling Edwards. I'm the Director of Church Planning for MNYBA. You can come to our MNYBA website, www.mnyba.org, and look under Church Planning, and we would love to be able to have churches and individuals to be able to connect with us and to be able to put you in contact with other church planners and how you can be able to come alongside them, and for us just to be able to advocate for people within this entire region and this entire city to see their lives change and transform through Jesus Christ. We know that's the only way that lives are going to be changed and transformed, and so we just invite you to participate in this and to connect with us about that. My connection to Alabama really revolves more around my wife. My wife grew up in Alabama for a few years, and her parents lived there in Alabama for probably 25 to 30 years, and really spent a lot of time attending Shades Mountain Baptist Church in the Birmingham area. And so over that period of time, just became acquainted with a lot of what was going on with Alabama and the churches that are there. My wife and I moved from Houston, Texas to Long Island 9 years ago. And we came to start a church, and we began working with one church plant on Long Island where there aren't very many churches. As a matter of fact, the church that we began to plant was the only English-speaking Southern Baptist church in Nassau County, a county of 1.4 million people. And so we helped start a church there. We established that church, and then probably 3 years ago we started another church about 20 miles east of that church on Long Island. Right now we're in the middle of our third church plant on Long Island, and so we're here to start churches and establish churches. And then along the way, I've also taken on the responsibility as the Director of Church Planting for the Metropolitan New York Baptist Association, really giving me a chance to be able to work with and encourage church planners all across the New York City area. There's about 22 million people that live within a 75-mile square radius of Times Square. And so then when you look at how many churches there are, there's the tremendous need for more churches and more church plants and more church planners. And so there's some needs for us, and what we're trying to do is connect with the association to help us raise up church planners. We're trying to raise up some indigenous church planners, people from New York City, to help plant churches in New York City. But we also need the help from people to come and help us plant churches, for churches to be able to support these church planners, to be able to zero in on some of these connections. And fortunately, New York City's blessed to have several guys that are from Alabama that have come to serve in the New York City area, and to be able to begin churches, and just to come alongside those guys and to be able to advocate for them, to be able to provide for them and their families, because as you can imagine, New York City's it's a difficult place to start a church. There's not a lot of foundation where these guys are working in, and so they're having to almost lay a foundation and then come in to be able to start that church. So there's just a need for encouragement and support and advocacy all along the way.